Howdy, y'all. It's your favorite trainer with a belt buckle, giving you a sneak peek to our classes that are held every Tuesday with an Equinox instructor. We have Dean, he's a Tier X trainer in San Francisco, going over common objections, talking with a trainer in Houston, Tyrus, going over how you present your packages. If you want to become a successful personal trainer, read the book, check out Show Up Fitness CPT. We have the best certification in the fitness industry. The average trainer quits within a year because they get a textbook certification. They don't understand anatomy, programming. We have nutrition courses. We have mentorship. We have classes that are online, in person, and they're recorded within our app, Show Up Fitness. We're changing the fitness industry one qualified trainer at a time. We have classes daily. If you want to sit on one of the calls, shoot us a DM, info@showupfitness.com. Most importantly, keep showing up.
How do you present it whenever you close it? Like, explain it.
Yeah. So like I said, it's a little different with Tier X. So I'll start with that, and then I can talk about more like how I did it before Tier X. So with Tier X, we have a whole slideshow to start. And sometimes I even will sell it after the Tier X assessment. So we have a 2-hour Tier X assessment that they go through. At the end of it, sometimes they feel really good, and you're just like, hey, let's get some sessions before our results review. And so usually you could just get an FTB off the bat with one or with one, maybe 6. And sometimes I'll just buy right in front of them. I'll just leave them on the app. I won't even present it. So it's more of a casual thing. With the Tier X assessment, there's also something called the results review. And that's actually a full PowerPoint slide where you you analyze the data, analyze what they talked about in their questionnaire, like their lifestyle stuff, their movement, nutrition, regeneration stuff. And then you just talk about what does the data mean for you and how do we put this into action, and then continue forward with a plan in motion. So you premise the whole thing by saying, this is your goal over X amount of time, right? That's one of the first slides that you say. It's you want to build 6 pounds of muscle in 8 months, through consistent periodized, again, my manager makes us use the jargon, consistent periodized strength training, so that you you just tie it into the why, so that you look good, feel more confident in your body, blah, 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 whatever you talked about in the questionnaire. And this will be measured through monthly strength assessments or benchmarks and monthly in-bodies, right? Or something like that. So that's your premise. The whole slideshow is always going to be tied back into the goal. It's just creating a story. So then you go through the lifestyle stuff, you go through the data, you talk about habits that will help you get to that actual goal itself, that'll the skills and practices that'll help you get there. So if you need to eat more protein, hey, let's just try eat more protein for this month, right? That's our focus. And the next month, okay, maybe let's just eat more overall calories or whatever, whatever the goal, or whatever ties into the goal. And then you get towards the end. So then you're just pretty much okay, so we have an 8-month goal. So based on what you told me, I think the 48 pack, or here are the 2 best options I think would be for you. 48 pack, next $8,000, 24 pack, that will take you that X amount of time, $4,000, right? So it's you show them how far into their goal it will take them, and then you just sell that package, right? And so obviously let them decide in front of you. So it's the same sales pitch. They just have a PowerPoint slide in front of them with, I only give them 2 options, and I give them the 2 biggest options, and then just see what they think, and then talk about it, and then deal with the objections as I need to, as we go from there. And then with now having this perspective on Tier X, I definitely think I would change my approach on the EcoFit. And I think really establishing the goal of early on, I think would be really, really helpful. I mean, I did that to some extent, but maybe changing the order, maybe doing the in-body, I was one of the first, talk to them a little bit. I'm hey, let's talk on the in-body just to see where we're currently at. Maybe even switching, doing the full CPT, an in-body CPT, and then instead of doing the EcoFit first, actually do it second, right? So you do almost their CPT first, make sure you get their blood pressure, get their in-body, and then just like actually do a workout with them. And then the second time, instead of doing just like doing the workout, then you actually do the EcoFit instead, so that you can kind of present the data, see where they're currently at, like tell them where they're currently at so that they understand. And like, okay, you want to get to here, that's going to take us X amount of time. Based off of that goal, I think this is a good, like, starting point. So that's how I would personally switch my approach. I think I would give them a workout first and like do all the database stuff first, and then work off of that.
Quick question. So what is the number one objection that you get, and how do you like deal with that?
Yeah, usually it'll be money. That's the biggest, money and time. I mean, that's very common. With money, what's up? Yeah, you hear that one, Tyrus? Yeah, definitely the big one. Tyrus, which club are you at?
River Oaks, Houston.
Where is that?
River Oaks, Houston.
Oh, Houston. Okay, gotcha. I don't even know I had one in Houston.
Just one. That's it.
Yeah, I know. I've been to the one in Austin. I know they have one in Dallas still. Interesting. I didn't know they had one in Houston. Yeah, but yeah, money, always the big one. And really you just have to talk about one, first objection is like, what are they actually doing? Like how much do they actually value this? So understand that first. But know like how much do they value their health to some extent? And then try and get them to understand that this isn't just an expense, that this isn't just another like thing that they're spending money on. Like you're truly investing in yourself and your future self. My biggest approach with that is that like, look, I'm not here to take you on forever, right? Like I understand money doesn't just grow from trees, but I genuinely am here to help you learn too. And I want you to take something from this process and take it onto your own and be able to do a lot of these things on your own. Because I understand, like if you're with a coach and you're trying to learn, or if you're just working out, like you don't want just a workout, like you also want to take some value out of it, especially if you're paying $125, $135, $145, $175 a session, right? Like you want to take some value out of that. So you show them more than just the dollar amount, right? What does this value mean? What does this investment mean for their life, for their health? So just talking about it as an investment, that's the biggest one. And what that means to you, that could mean different things to different people, and just speaking more their language and speaking to the person who's in front of you, as to what that investment means. That's definitely a big one. With time, that's one where you just gotta kind of show them where could time be made, right? Obviously, some people are very busy, but it's like, what can we do with the time that we have? Because this is important, right? And if it doesn't get done now, it won't ever get done, period. So understanding that is definitely huge, and trying to bring light to a new perspective on how they approach their current lifestyle is the biggest thing. So my biggest thing is self-realization, and whether that's in the EcoFit or whether it's in that sale right then and there. Some people it won't happen, some people it will, but giving them the opportunity to like think about their own decision and know what the right decision is. You have to give them space to do that too. So did I answer your question, Sishan?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, cool. Any other questions? Nothing. All righty, well, let's get into a little quick program. So this girl is a 3-time-a-weeker. She was actually my first sale at, oh, sorry, actually, let me go backtrack a little bit before I go on off of this. So there's one more option I use, Nishant. I don't know if you're an Equinox trainer or not, but we have a subscription option as well. So this is really good for my Equinox people. There is a subscription option. I don't know if you guys know about this. But if money really is an issue for a lot of people, which it is, subscription pack is probably like your best bet at getting them as a client. Basically it's a minimum of 6-month commitment, or 6-week commitment. And there is a 3-time-a-week where they pay the same session rate as a 24-pack, but they just pay it weekly. So they'll pay for 3 sessions each week at the 24-pack rate. And then there'll also be a 2-time-a-week where they'll pay for the same price or sessions pack or sessions price as the 12 pack, and they'll pay it 2 times a week, and they'll pay it weekly. So instead of paying like the big chunk of, you know, $4,000, $8,000, $2,000, whatever it is, they're paying, you know, $360 weekly. They're paying $240 weekly, whatever that price is. So around that range. So it's a little bit more budget friendly, so that they can pay as they go, as opposed to paying like the one big thing at once. So that is, what's up?
So you showed that with the other prices, or is that an option you would show if they were saying, "Oh, money is an issue"?
Yeah, I get that. I pull that out if money like really like where they're like, I genuinely cannot do this. I'm like, okay, let's explore this option, right? Like I really kind of use that as a real fallback option. If I can get them to buy a pack because that locks them in for X amount of time, then I will. But sometimes a subscription is better too, because sometimes they'll do it longer on a subscription. So this depends. But work with the person in front of you. Find that option that works, and really explore all options possible before letting them go.
Yep. Cool.
Cool. All righty, let's get into it. Any other questions before we get going?